So long, and thank you for visiting my channel, Coin Lady. Are Ripple and XRP part of a hidden plot by the elite? With everything out of the way, let's jump right in and learn about Ripple's important contribution to the current financial sector, the role of crypto liquidity. Through novel liquidity channels and network expansion to near global coverage, Ripple Payments is continually boosting our liquidity capacity. As we examine XRP and what Ripple is developing here, it becomes clear that there is something intriguing throughout this entire breakdown. So many inefficiencies, so many middlemen, and bottlenecks plague traditional finance when we take a closer look at what's happening in that sector. In addition, I think it's crystal evident right now that, since everything else is becoming digital, it is only natural for the money itself and the tracks it travels on to become digital. We really do keep an eye on what's happening in the financial markets, even during pandemics like COVID-19, when, for instance, worldwide economic uncertainty caused huge sell-offs in the stock and cryptocurrency markets in March of 2020, creating temporary liquidity issues as we dealt with these issues. It is obvious that liquidity is limited. Recently, I have spoken about it, and I intend to keep doing so. A liquidity situation is becoming worse. There are still restrictions on banks. They are also under a lot of stress because they have a lot of commercial real estate debts that they are still holding on to. Meanwhile, we are dealing with a situation where debt is skyrocketing and markets are declining. There's no clear indication that we're heading for a recession just yet, but I do believe that we're going to hit a wall and have a worldwide liquidity calamity. We can look forward to a major shift in conventional finance as a result of this, if we consider the big picture. While traditional financial systems have made great strides in facilitating faster and more reliable cross-border payments, there are still major problems that require fixing. For example, users of SWIFT-based transactions are frequently left wondering what happened to their money, even though the transaction was completed much faster than before. Furthermore, because intermediaries are sometimes unavailable to settle transactions during weekends, holidays, or other non-traditional banking hours, it might still be difficult to transfer funds during these times. Even in a more interconnected world, problems like these lapses in communication and unexpected holdups persist. Thus, there is a substantial obstacle here when we consider this. Regarding SWIFT, isn't that correct? Unless they start doing anything new, they won't last long. It's unnecessary for Ripple to attempt to attack SWIFT, as I've mentioned before, and will repeat again when discussing this matter. The necessity for innovation at Fast is the main reason behind this. It's up to them to come up with new ideas. Ripple is already part of the financial industry's future. They have long since entered the digital era. However, the comparison is presented here. Nexus and Swift Ripple are available to us. Access, Virtual Private Network, VPN, or leased line with ISO 22 certification, high pre-funding, speed, average of 9 hours, cost, transparency, both during and after the transaction, certainty, in the event of a failure at any step, and so on. Currently, the market penetration is minimal with Ripple. Again, this is the cost both before and after the transaction, there is no pre-funding, and the speed is near real-time ex-ante. It takes seconds for the action to succeed or fail. Ripple still comes out on top when compared to Nexus, and you can access it through a REST API with ISO 22. We now have an ISO 22 technical link to Ripple and the XRP ledger, thanks to Smokedog's response. You need to be connected to a REST API with ISO 2052 in order to utilize Ripple's services, as indicated in the first chart that breaks down market solutions for cross-border payments. Ripple is cited as an example under this category. When it comes to connecting Ripple to back-end systems, REST APIs are the gold standard. The important technical details of the REST API's connectivity to the Ripple API and the XRP ledger defects. When we take a closer look, we can see how to incorporate Ripple once more. We can integrate the Ripple pilot in a matter of weeks. Reintegrating financial institutions is done in this way. Here, APIs in the REST style are crucial. Collaborate with back-end processes including compliance, audit trails, and support. Additionally, there is the sending and receiving, as well as a comprehensive explanation of how Ripple Labs actually functions. On the bottom, we have the peer-to-peer network, which is integrated with the XRP ledger. Then, we have the middleware, which includes things like data and APIs. That is the basic and most important way it operates. Now that we're taking a look at Swift, it's clear that all eyes are on Swift's. With over 11,000 financial institutions connected to Swift, they serve as the backbone of the international monetary system. And if we turn our attention to CGI, well, they recently shared some insight with us, and it's about how trustworthy it is to move $21 trillion every day. CGI is a major player behind Swift and all these other players. In fact, we help our clients transfer over $21 trillion in financial payments every day, including real-time payments. Furthermore, our services assist clients in processing a significant portion of the world's foreign exchange settlements, 35% of Fedwire transactions, and 20% of Swift payment transactions. For those unaware, Swift is responsible for the movement of approximately $5 trillion daily. Our involvement in the payments industry dates back to the 1970s, when we reviewed the design of Swift, the first electronic payments exchange infrastructure, and developed Swift interface solutions for clients. This is how they came up with the Swift interface solutions for companies. As a result, we have been working with financial institutions to digitize and modernize payments for over 40 years, so their clients may enjoy faster, easier, more secure payments. Am I really bringing up CGI at this point? In what way is the topic of computer-generated imagery being brought up? So, they're pushing forward with real-time payments that are focused on payments in particular, and they aim to innovate by leveraging next-gen technologies. You won't believe what happened next. CGI uses the Ripple Validator node to promote blockchain adoption. All of this happened in 2016. My God, this is incredible. I want to emphasize these connections that Ripple does have, regardless of the date. We are eagerly awaiting CGI's implementation of a validator, which will further decentralize the Ripple network. Having a major enterprise player contribute to the consensus process on Ripple strengthens the network, and it is crucial to our collaboration with CGI to make blockchain technology even easier to put into commercial production. CGI is leading the charge in payments modernization, and our clients benefit from our cooperation with Ripple. With the goal of assisting banks in decreasing implementation risk and increasing time to value, we are thrilled to keep expanding our utilization of distributed financial technology. Yes, CGI is a huge company, and they're dealing in a lot of cash. They are associated with a great number of participants. If we look at the signed agreements that Ripple has, we can see that integration may happen practically immediately once regulations are in place. Now tell me how the powerful are involved. It's really easy. The World Economic Forum is taking precautions to prevent a cyber epidemic, isn't that right? The CrowdStrike website recently crashed. Everywhere there is darkness. Funny thing is, CrowdStrike is actually a partner of the World Economic Forum. Another World Economic Forum partner, Ripple, claimed in a 2017 post that Swift wasn't keeping an eye out for cyber assaults that went beyond the core network and targeted its consumers. The subject matter is intriguing. Sure, it's fascinating because there are some really important links here. All of this is orchestrated by the World Economic Forum, if you look closely enough. Has long advocated for a cyber pandemic. Actually, this has been on our minds for a while. This is all the more bizarre when we consider that CrowdStrike and Ripple are both involved as partners, and that Ripple was instrumental in advancing the narrative of cyber attacks in 2017. Now, adding to this, the cyber pandemic, an assault on cyber systems that will render them inoperable. What is the purpose of concentrating on that thing? Why? Because if they fall, what will they use to get back up? For the simple reason that they must be turned back on, will the digital age begin at that point? Is it the hidden agenda behind this whole thing? After we quickly examine Swift, it's certainly within the realm of possibility, isn't it? A new blockchain technology is enabling Swift to revolutionize the industry. They're exploring new possibilities with blockchain technology, and the quickest way to get everything running on DLT and digital rails is to implement the new system after a cyber pandemic has rendered everything inoperable. I mean, who needs to know what's really happening in the shadows when a cyber attack brings Swift to its knees and gives them the green light to push an upgrade? Oh, look at us, repairing this in no time at all. Wow, they've got Ripple built in when they turn back on. Seems absurd, doesn't it? Keep in mind what Swift is doing at the moment. It sounds crazy. Are you still thinking about the interview from not long ago? I think it was in December, or something like that. This is the new world train system that the CEO of Ripple, Swift, and Citi is constructing. It's starting to materialize. Reading between the lines is absolutely necessary in this situation. From my point of view, it's already fixed. A massive shift is about to occur. Something will bring systems to a standstill, forcing them to issue an update. It might be a catastrophic crash or a cyber attack. We begin to observe the digital rails genuinely flowing at that point. The viewer's presence here is greatly appreciated. When you're done, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think.